Okay, welcome friends. We are now entering the peak week of the build phase, of the prep quarter, of the rest year. So you may be starting to really notice this summer energy coming along. I was telling Coach TJ over here, it reminds me of the analogy of a fire where the springtime, it's like you're putting these little twigs in and you're putting things that burn really easily, and you've got this huge thing going, although it's not sustainable, but there's a lot of activity and there's a lot of things happening. And then going into the summer, where it's like, okay, now some of these bigger logs are starting to catch. And now maybe it seems like things are dying down a little bit in some extent. And as far as training goes, like the overall volume might be dying down a little bit. But now the intensity, now this sustaining power is coming through, like when the big logs catch, and now the power is sustainable now. So that's at least my own personal experience of feeling into these different seasons and what's coming through with the summer energy. But with that, like I said, we are now peak week, build phase. So it's a 2-1-2 this week. So, relatively speaking, we've got a little bit higher intensity, and being that we are in this peak week, as you will see, we are going to be getting pretty specific, and we are going to have a couple chances here to actually start to go a little heavier on some things. So in mind as well that we are going to be entering into the 10 rep max snatch and clean and jerk total for the test in the summer. But with that, we still want to have some opportunities to touch some of the heavier weights with lower volume and lower reps, because that'll actually kind of prime your nervous system for the doing more reps with the lighter weight. So take it away, Coach TJ.
As Coach Nate was just talking about, guys, it's trusting the season that you're in, the literal season, but also like the emotional, the spiritual, the relational season that you're in, and know it's there. I mean, no matter how much you hate winter, if it's winter, it's winter. No matter how much you hate summer or spring, that's just what it is. So you can embrace it and say, hey, I'm going to enjoy this for what it is. Because there's beauty in all of it, right? There's beauty in every single season of the year. There's something to be thankful for. But if you let it kind of just tense you up and make you like, oh, I don't want to go outside. You can live that way too. But there's always a choice. So whatever season you're in, whatever might be calling your name, it's always an invitation. It's always a calling to potentially take a step forward in your evolution, in your ascension into becoming who you can be. So whatever struggles are going on in your life, whatever obstacles you may be facing, difficulties, know that you have what you need to get through it, and you can do it. And I believe in you. We believe in you. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into it. Weakness day. We got a 4-3-1. Starting off, all right, we're going to do a little bit of clean and jerk work. We have a below the knee hang power clean. So right from that tall position, going down, hanging right below the knee, coming up, catching it high on that power clean. Front squat, right, obviously, loading it up, going that front squat position, and then a split jerk, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Just whatever your normal jerk is.
Jerk. Whatever your natural jerk is. And we got 4 by 1 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 hang, power clean, 1 front squat, and 1 jerk out of 1. So relatively light, but can keep that form tight. Keep it stepping. Okay, next we've got 3 different SBD kind of like accessories, trying to get specific, helping you guys continue to prepare for the overall test. First, we have a SSB back squat. So that SSB bar is the one that has the handle and like kind of like the pad thing that goes on your shoulders, and you hold the handle and you go down to the squat. Gonna really help build that core and like hold that position. So we got a 4 by 3 out of 1. So even if it's just the bar is a little bit heavier than a normal bar. So if you load it up, just maybe a little bit of weight on the sides, just focusing on that position obviously is the main idea with that one. Then we have a close grip floor press with chains. So we're down the ground. All right, they're gonna lower that rack down to the floor. You got chains on each side. How many chains you use, it's probably gonna vary person to person. Maybe you just have the chains on and no weights. Just gonna, again, it's a 1, so it's gotta be.
It'll probably be 1 chain for most of us.
1 chain for most of y'all.
On each side.
All right, elbows inside, obviously for that closer grip, and then we're just obviously firing, gonna burn, get those triceps going, the shoulders. 4x3, so not too many reps, but really focusing on that form and driving all the way up. And then just a normal barbell RDL. Okay, so we're gonna stand up nice and tall, and we're gonna just hinge those hips, going right past those shins, keep a nice tall chest position, and driving through out of that hole with those hips, those glutes. 4x3 out of 1. All right, going to a specific day. Coach Nate.
Specific day. We are specific indeed. Well, we got, it's a 3-2-1, so that just means we'll do 3 exercises, 3 exercise blocks. So specific day, we're just gonna do a squat, a bench, and a deadlift. And it's all 3x2. So I don't know if we've seen a 2 yet on these specific days. Obviously this is peak week, so even you notice with the weakness day, the reps are lower. And even though the intensity is still low, just because the reps are lower, that means that the weight's gonna be able to be a little heavier. So that's what we'll see here on this specific day. 3x2, even though yes, it is at a 1, but being a double, you might still be able to touch a little bit of weight with these. All right, and then I'll just go ahead and then right into the strength day. We're just doing a snatch. So it's just 1 exercise, and it's at a 3. So this one, you know, kind of in that mid-range there where it's only a single, so you should be able to push a little bit of weight, and depending on how you're feeling. And that's the cool thing with the numbers too, because it's really based on the day-to-day feel, even though yes, we can put specific metrics and percentages and things to that. But if you're feeling good, then, you know, really push the 3. If you're not feeling good, you can stay a little on the lighter side, but I would imagine with how everything has been progressing, you'll probably be feeling pretty good. So you're gonna put some weight on that snatch. All right.
And you also want to keep in mind, guys, it is a peak week.
Yeah.
So we are looking at it from a perspective of like how, again, listen to your body overall. If you're like nursing some kind of like pull or an injury, like don't force it. But if you're feeling like even decent, like setting off a cliff, it's only a 3, but like it's a 3. It's like, it's a solid 3. Like it is like you're pushing it. So just keep that in mind. You might surprise yourself. Okay, technique day, bar work, or whatever feels like, whatever light movement or recovery you have. I mean, at this point, obviously you've done some work, but just honor yourself, but you know, do whatever feels right on that day. And then we'll go into accessory day. It's only a 2, so we just have 2 kind of like superset type circuit things. It kind of like gives you guys moving and keep touching all the main realms we want to touch by the end of the week. So we got a little bit of strongman with those tire flips. So we got yoke walk plus tire flip. Okay, 2 rounds of both of those, 100 feet each. So that's just 1 trip down the turf, and then you'll get the other one and do, so yoke walk first, and then I'll do 100 feet with that tire, and then it's 2 times through. Okay, and then we've got a circuit here. Okay, we got seated rows. Okay, so just sitting down where those all the cables and stuff are, grabbing whatever handle you maybe want, and then focusing right, pulling those lats, squeezing those. Okay, then I got a single arm cable push, so you'll get the pulleys, and you get one of those handles, split those feet, and I'm gonna drive that handle out and away. All right, really focusing on that rotation, and then obviously the chest and shoulders as well. And then a Swiss ball crunch. All right, so I'm just down on my back on that Swiss ball. All right, I'm gonna activate roof of my mouth. All right, tongue on the roof of my mouth, so everything's tight here, and I'm just crunching up. You have a dumbbell or just your body weight, whatever feels good. If the body weight's too easy, you can get like a lighter dumbbell, something like that. 1 round, 1 minute total of each, so a minute of the seated row straight, 30 seconds of the cable push on each side, and then a minute of that Swiss ball crunch, and that's your accessory day, guys. Coach Nate will finish it off.
Yep, and it's all out of 2 for those, so
Yes.
you know, a little bit there.
A little bit.
All right, so finishing off with the test day. So we have our coordination test this week. So hopefully y'all been practicing. It's here. So that is the tennis ball catch and throw. So remember, there's 3 levels. Level 1 is standing. You're gonna stand twice your height away from the wall. So, you know, average 10, 11, 12 feet. So you'll stand away from the wall. Level 1, toss with one hand, catch with the other. How many catches can you get within 30 seconds? You can do 3 rounds and then take your best score. And then level 2, same parameters, 3 rounds, take your best score, 30 seconds, but now you'll be seated on the Swiss ball, same distance away. Level 3, you'll be kneeling on the Swiss ball, okay? And whatever level that you choose, so level 2 is a 2x multiplier for your score. So like, let's say you got 10 throws standing. If you do 10 throws seated, that's actually 20. And then level 3 is a 3 times multiplier. So if you do 10 throws kneeling on the Swiss ball, that would actually be 30 points, okay? So take your best score. And if you want to too, you can do, maybe do 1 standing, 1 sitting, 1 kneeling, and then see what your score is. You can kind of mix and match, but you'll do 3 attempts, take your best score. All right, and then we've got our normal squat, bench, deadlift, 20 rep max, our test for this cycle, this prep cycle, this spring cycle. And this is the peak week, as Coach TJ reminded us. So ideally, you should be doing the most weight here that you have ever done through this cycle. Okay, so and it is a 4. So that's only 1 away from 5. If you can do the math there. So we are going to be pushing a little bit. All right, maybe, you might still leave just a little bit left in the tank there because it isn't fully a 5 and destroy yourself, but it is a 4. So we are going to get up there. All right, and then lastly, you know what it is. The native plant flashcards that we don't have yet. But hey, let me show you something here. We're going to take you on a journey. We don't have flashcards, but we do have a fresh new painting. Can you see it? There it is. So this is your nature for the week, and it follows you wherever you go. So Taylor did buy bird. Well, I don't know if she got them yet, but we got bird flashcards. But yes, just remember though that the treasure in the forest, the quest at the end of this quarter, it's almost a month away now. It's the end of June, June 28th. Okay, and just a little reminder of what that is. So that's going to be 3 different tasks. So the first task is bench for reps plus tire flips for reps, which is why we're training those. And then the second task is going to identify these different plants. And then the different plants are going to give you different pieces of the puzzle that are going to open up the third task, which is then going on a treasure hunt with the map that you have from finding the different pieces that then leads you to the treasure. Okay? So yes, just, that intention, we are holding that still. It's still here. So get prepared for that. And that is it, y'all. That is our peak week of this quarter. This is week 8 that we were going into. So summer is a-coming, my friend.
Sheesh. It's going by fast, gang. So there's no better time to just commit to yourself than now. There's no better time to just decide. Like we were talking before, we started recording this video about like everything can change in an instant, right? It's all it takes is an instant. And maybe your life itself and all your circumstances won't change in an instant, but your perspective, the way you are approaching life can change. The way you're stepping into your life, the energy, the confidence, the commitment, that can change. And that's always up to you. So give yourself that power, give yourself the grace as we continue to move forward into the deeper into spring, closer to summer, and we'll just keep moving forward. Love you guys.
Blessings, y'all. Till next time.